Hey, what's up? Grow Up Mo back in the house. Yeah, today we're going to talk about how to successfully plan a grow. See, there's a lot more that goes into growing than what people think. Yeah, they think it's just get some seeds, throw some water on it, that's it. You're going to get you some bomb weed when you're done. No. Not when you're controlling and creating an environment. You know, the first thing I would suggest when you decide to grow is do your research. The more research you do and the better you plan, the higher chances of you having successful grow after successful grow. Yeah, there's going to be some things you don't know. You know, and I'm going to go through some things that you should think about before you do. You know, think about growing. You know, first thing, ask yourself, is it for you? Because you're going to need time to deal with this plant. So you're going to need to commit yourself commit some time to this. Another thing you should think about, the first thing you should think about really, is it legal where you're at? And what are the laws? If you're a renegade and don't care, hey, fuck it. But if you do, it's something that you should really take in consideration and follow all the laws. I do not consent to anything illegal nor promote it. So, moving on, another thing you should think of is your grow space. You need to take measurements, check your temperature in this area, check your humidity, so then that'll help you with your equipment list. You'll know what you need to prioritize. You'll know what you need the most, you know what I'm saying? Some things you can get away with maybe. So that's one thing that you should definitely take in consideration is, you know, your grow space. And do you plan to scale up or down? Because your space correlates to your exhaust. Because you're going to need to remove and add air to this area. So this ties into that. Another thing you should think about or do your research on, I definitely suggest, is your seeds. Think about what medicine is best for you. What do you like? What do you need? Those are some of the questions I would ask myself as I'm picking a strand. You know, I want something that's going to smell good and taste good and be appealing to the eye, but the main thing is the medication part of it. So, does it help me the way I want it to? That's the big question. So, those are things you consider. Look for something that is suited for you. You know, another thing that you should look into, continue to do your research on, is your equipment. The things you are going to need. Now, we all know that you're going to need lights, fans, timers, controllers, the list goes on and on. I mean, I could minimize it, you know, go to the tiniest thing, but we're not going to do that right now. We're just, you know, giving you an example of your equipment list. And once again, the more research you do, the better research you do, the more money you're going to save also. You're going to save money because you're not going to buy stuff you don't need. So moving along, you know, then the next thing you should think about is your grow style, which will tie into what grow medium you're going to use. If you're a hydroponic grower, you know, you're going to be using cocoa or water or whatever form of hydroponic that you can come up with. But that's going to tie into the style of grow. Let's say you're a soil grower, you want to do a mainline or a sea of green. You know, these things I've experienced in a tent, so I could definitely walk you through them. I've done hydro in water before, and I could walk you through that too. I did my own DIY buckets, and I got excellent results under a 600 watt HPS. But the grow style and your medium kind of tie in together. So another thing you want to think about that ties a lot of this in together is your budget. How much money do you have to spend on this project? Is it a project? Is it something bigger than that? But the main thing is putting together your budget, and key thing, research. The more research you do is going to help you with your budget, and once again, save you money. That's the biggest thing, is saving you money. So another thing that you want to also look into is getting your network as far as your support group put together. Are you going to have somebody that's going to help you grow and keep you from making vital mistakes, or that can help you fix a mistake? See, getting your support group put together first before you start will help you, because you can go to them and they can help you with putting together your grow plan. This is going to lead to success. If you want to do this right with minimal amount of mistakes, these are things you should heavily consider, because later down the line when you're growing and let's say you got a question, you don't know how to answer it. You're doing all the research, you can't find the answer. But if you'd have had your network put together first for your support, that answer would come a lot easier. Let's say it comes too late, plant's dead or dying. Put your network of support together first. Do these things first, so like I said, this raises your chances of having some bomb-ass weed. Because we're not doing this to get some bullshit. We're doing this to save money. We love what we're doing. And this is a good way to supply your own medicine so you know what's going into it. Nowadays, you don't know what's being put into anything. But you do know yourself what you're putting into your own medicine. So, food for thought. But also, one of the last few things I want to touch upon is the nutrients you're going to use, which will tie into your budget, saving money, and your electrical wiring, your electrical power, your power source. These things tie into your budget, things that you should do research on. Do you have the money to be able to support growing like this, or do you need to go outdoors where your light would be free? Yes, your challenges are going to be different, but your expense will change because you'll be spending more money in IPM. That's another thing that you do need to consider. You want to keep your plants pest free as possible, so then your plants grow as fast and vigorously as they can. I had a problem before where I had aphids. They didn't, on the outside looking in, it didn't seem like they're doing too much damage, but they did plenty of damage because I could have yielded more, but my infestation of them stopped me from doing that. So the next thing I did is I did some research, found out how to get rid of them. So I got some ladybugs, but the first thing I did is got some hydrogen peroxide, the 3% oral. I took a 32-ounce bottle of that and a gallon of water and mixed it. And I did a soil drench first, which the soil drench with the peroxide will clean up your roots, kill bacteria and any diseases, and add oxygen to your roots. After I did this, I also, the next watering, I added microbes because if I killed anything, I wanted to put it back into the soil. Now, after I did the peroxide twice, 2 treatments, so that was 2 different waterings, 2 watering cycles. Then next, I released my ladybugs. Went and got some ladybugs, released them so they could kill any aphids that were on the plants and coming out of the soil. Whereas the peroxide was help killing what was in the soil. Then the next thing I did to add as a preventive maintenance was I got some diatomaceous earth, and I top dressed the top of my plant, and that right there acts as a layer, as like a razor wire. So as they're trying to come out the soil, it kills them. So then the ladybugs handle what's above the soil. So now I'm really ridding my problem. But they came back because the next thing I needed to do was to bomb the room to completely eradicate them and get rid of them. But once you get rid of them, you got to keep them from coming back because they can be in anything. Sometimes you can't clean enough. So you do small measures of preventive maintenance. Add nematodes to your soil, which will help kill the larvae in your soil, so then they don't make it out. The ladybugs help kill what's going to be above the soil. You know, you do top dressings with diatomaceous earth, which will also be a supply of silica. So it has 2 purposes. So that's my story. I went in a little further than I wanted, but these are things that you should think of when you are planning to grow. Is it for you, and do you have the time? And biggest thing, is it legal where you're at? Hey, if it's for you, start putting the steps together to have a successful growth. Research, research, research. Hey, Grow with Mo, and I'm out.